Welcome back to the channel, folks, and today we're going to take a look at the Gbbr Mgcr 556. This is a quick review just to kind of go over this, and because I thought it would be kind of cool to give my insight on this so you guys can sort of see what one of these is like. So unfortunately I do not have the original box or packing or anything like that to be able to tell you and show you what comes with it in the box. This is actually a buddy's gun. He got this and then now he's going to sell it. So what I can assume is obviously you're going to get the gun, you're going to get a magazine, you're going to get this flash hider, you're also going to get a tool to help you adjust the hop up, and then you'll probably get like a manual and an unjamming rod or something like that, and that's probably about it. But as you can see, this is what the gun looks like, and it's actually like a pretty lovely gun in my opinion. It looks like a very modern and quote-unquote tactical M4. Honestly, I mean, a lot of M4s look this way now, but it still looks really good. The finish is really nice, and the thing that I really like about it is that for the most part, other than a little bit of upper and lower receiver wobble, this thing's actually extremely solid. So, to comb over this thing very quickly from the front to back, I figured we'd use a handy little magnet to showcase what is and isn't steel. So this is aluminum, I do believe. It does look like that the little gas block knob is steel. That is aluminum rails, steel screw for the front flip-up sight, which is metal, and it is included, so that is something that will be included. The rear sight, same thing, and they're both adjustable, it looks like. Not really sure how you adjust the front one. Oh, it looks like there's an arrow indicating, yeah, and then you just spin this wheel, and then back here, you know, there's a knob right here that you can twist to adjust it. Kind of neat. The rail here itself, which is an M-lock rail, is made out of aluminum, and it does have a monolithic Picatinny top portion, all metal all the way back, metal upper and lower receiver, and let's see, so these are going to be steel. That's steel, the pin, not steel there, steel bolt catch slash release button, steel, I think the magazine release is, let's see, oh, maybe not, just the screw that holds it in. That's obviously steel for the dust cover. And then the trigger itself is made out of steel. Pretty cool, right? And then the fire selector is not, but the screw that holds it in is. Obviously this pin still is. This part of the lower receiver that like is where the stock mounts to, and then the castle nut that locks it in is steel. And then there's some steel pins here and here. And then back here there's a steel quick detach sling mount. And I think that's about it. So yeah, the rest of it, like aluminum upper and lower, aluminum rails. I think the mock gas, like gas tube thing there is made out of aluminum. I want to say, I'm not sure about the barrel in this gun, so I guess we could, let's see, let's unscrew that and see what the threads say, because that could help us figure that out. It looks like, no, nope, so I don't think that's the case. I don't think I can get the magnet through there to be able to see those. That is made of steel right there, but I don't know about the actual barrel itself. It's hard to say. I don't have a magnet small enough. This one isn't strong enough to stick through it, but yeah, I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. But anyways, it's at least made out of metal, and it looks pretty nice. And again, overall, it feels pretty solid. Like I said, the only other parts that are not aluminum or steel will be the pistol grip, which is polymer, and the stock, which is polymer. There's a little bit of wobble to it, but it's not horrific, but it's noticeable. It looks like you can adjust it either by pressing this or by pressing that, which is kind of neat. And then I don't know if this pivots open. Maybe it does. Oh yeah, it looks like it should. But I don't know how to get it to come open, if I'm being honest. So I guess, oh, like that. There you go. Oh, that's cool. It's got like a hinge at the back here, and then this leaves with tons of room to throw, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. You can throw an AEG battery in there just if you want to help out your AEG homies. You know, the plebs that are still relying on those primitive electric guns instead of using guns that have recoil. I can't get this back on. I'm struggling. So I guess it shows you that it's not as cool as I thought. Let's see. Come on. There we go. All right. That was a pain in the butt. Real quick too, the threads on this are counterclockwise. To go over some of the exterior features as well, So there's an ambidextrous mag release. So you have this button here, and then you have this big paddle here, ambidextrous selector switch, and it also is one of those ones where it's like a little, like, I don't know what they call it, like a 90-degree style one, where it's safe, semi-auto, instead of it being like where this is semi and then auto would be over here. So it's definitely a little different. You got a nice straight trigger that feels pretty good. And the trigger brake is good as well. So I'll kind of show you that. It's not a very long pull, and the reset sounds good too. It's very nice, little click, but it's crispy. And there's not really a whole lot else going on here. And then that's how far back the bolt goes, and that's about it. So nothing too crazy. Now let's take this thing apart real quick, and we'll talk about a bunch of stuff related to the internals. So we'll pull that open. As always with gas M4s, you just have to pop that rear pin by hand, and we can pull that out. So there's that, and we'll pull this out too. So first and foremost, we'll start with the lower receiver and all of its good bits. It looks like this is somewhat akin to like a VFC / Western Arms style design, but it's not 100% like it. I don't think. I could be wrong, but at least that's made out of steel. Again, the bolt catch part, the whole bolt catch part is made out of steel. I don't know if you can see it in there, but right there, that's your valve knocker, that little nugget. As you can see, the magnet's sticking to it just fine, so it's steel. And then other various bits, it looks like, is steel. So there's that. And I know like the little disconnector down there is steel, but the magnet's sticking to everything else. So it's all steel internals. Another neat feature is that you do have, oh shit, there we go, a really heavy steel buffer with a little bit of a rubberized end here. And again, this is also made out of steel. It'll stick to any part of it, really. So yeah, it's pretty hefty. I heard this was off spec from other buffers and buffer springs. I guess we can find out real quick. 1 second. So I do have a Western Arms buffer spring here. We'll see how it fits around that. It looks fine. Let's see, does it fit inside of the gun? Like, let's just see if it looks any different. A little bit. Those coils at the end are a little different, but otherwise it should be okay. Can this fit in the gun, or is it going to get stuck? Well, it looks like that can fit in there, but somebody said that the buffer was like off spec, and it does look a little different, so I don't know. It could be. In terms of like the girth of the springs, is there any indication about that? I don't know. It's hard to say. There's definitely a difference in the color, but I don't know if it's off spec or not. But that was just something I read online. I could be totally wrong. The buffer does look a little bit different, so maybe it wouldn't work. Let me get another gun to compare it to. So I decided to pull out the buffer from my Gbbr M4, and it looks like lengthwise it's similar, but I wonder if girth-wise, if that head of it is gonna fit in it or not, or if it... Oh. Guys, I think... Okay, hold up. That person may have been right. Oh. I guess it works, but it doesn't... It struggled to go in there. So, interesting. I mean, it doesn't help that it's not really designed to go in this gun. So yeah, other buffers, and that is just a Marui one. Other buffers might not work in this. That is actually pretty interesting. Whereas this one, definitely, it slips in nicely. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So yeah, I wish I had another M4 Gbb to test it, like if I had my VFC one still. Unfortunately, I do not. The only thing I could do is get a real one. Alright, so this is a real buffer that is from my real AR-15, and it looks actually pretty similar to an Airsoft one. It's even made out of steel, but I feel like it's actually... I think it's lighter. Yeah, I think it's lighter than the G&G one. That's kind of wild. So let's see, does that fit in here? Oh, I actually don't think it does. I don't think it does at all. Okay, so if this buffer that is in my hand is on spec with a... Like if this in a... like a, let's say a Western Arms, G&P, King Arms, GHK, etc., or VFC buffer, if this is the same as one of those, then I don't think these will these are interchangeable. I think the only reason the Marui one works the way that does is because that's actually off spec from a real one as well, which I know like bothers some people, and I know that like for me personally I don't care too much, but I thought I would just show that because I know there's some people that are real big sticklers about that. So that was really interesting. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's one con that you just have to watch out for. So another thing to note is that, let me just put together my real AR in the background, don't mind me. I don't want to put it on camera in case it like flags it or something like that. But so I guess another thing to note too is the bolt carrier, I think, is proprietary. It's definitely not on spec with that one or a VFC one or anything like that. And same thing with like the nozzle, but that's what it looks like. It is made out of plastic. It's got a nice return spring and it's got a dual piston head. Now one thing I also noticed too is that there's like, you see that like crack in it? It's not a crack, it's like a split that was intentionally put in there. I don't know why, but I saw it on another review, and so I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Another thing that's cool about this bolt carrier is it's made from aluminum, so it's extremely lightweight. And when comparing that even to my Tokyo Marui one, I just want to feel it real quick if it would like get out of there. There we go. Oh yeah, I would say, so this one I think is like a zinc alloy one. It's significantly heavier. I don't know how much I would say, but I would definitely say it's probably like 50 to 75% heavier than this aluminum one. So this helps reduce the amount of weight in it, of course, by being made out of aluminum, which also increases gas efficiency. That's what I meant to say. There's like a cutout here for where the bolt catching gauge is. I don't know if it's supposed to look that rough, but that's just how this one looks. It does function fine, but it looks really rough compared to, you know, something like the Marui. You don't see anything like nasty like that, so I'm not really sure what the big deal there is. But yeah, it just doesn't look as clean. It looks like it was like almost like kind of cut with like a Dremel or something. It looks bad, but it works still. Let's see, is this made out of steel at all anywhere? No, other than that part, the little latch. But otherwise, and that latch too, the actual charging handle itself is not made out of steel. It's probably just some kind of like pot metal or something like that. And then the last thing to talk about with the internals is that apparently, according to what I've read, from what I can tell, the hop-up chamber and all that good stuff, and inner barrel itself even, is proprietary. And the way that it's adjusted is actually kind of dumb. Let me get this closed back up off camera. Alright, so the way that the hop-up is adjusted, so I have the flash hider removed, is you see this like star bit thing? Turning it to the right, which you can do manually with your finger. Let me see if you can like kind of see it, turn it all, see it, oh, it's so hard to see. Like, you can kind of just put pressure on it and turn it a little bit. Oh, there it goes. See it? It's kind of spinning. That's your hop-up. So that's why you need a tool, so that way you can adjust it through the flash hider. So righty-tighty is more hop-up, lefty-loosey is less hop-up. For the flash hider, of course, getting it on and off, it's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So yeah, and the one thing that's also done too is whatever portion of the outer barrel is there, if you tighten this on too much, the outer barrel will then come loose, because the outer barrel mechanism there is lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, where it's a normal thread, so it's stupid. So that's how the hop-up is adjusted. Not a big fan of it, but it works. And there's another thing I also wanted to make note of this gun that is kind of annoying. So notice how the bolt carrier is positioned here, right? So I'm actually going to separate the whole thing here to make it even easier to see. Check this out. So there's just a tad bit of tension where it kind of springs like that, right? If you screw this all the way in, watch what happens to the bolt carrier. Notice how it is being spaced out way more. You do not want this, because if it does that, what will happen is when it's being slammed back forward, you could get bolt bounce. The bolt bounce is extremely bad. You do not want that, because then that can result in you accidentally double chambering, you know, two BBs, which could result in catastrophic like accuracy and like feeding problems and all that sort of stuff. So you do not want that. So you just want a little bit there. And the reason why you want that little bit of space is so that acts as just like a tad bit of a cushion for the impact. So apparently that's what you're supposed to go for with it. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that, because when I didn't know that about this gun, I spaced it all the way out because I thought, like, wow, this sticking all the way out looks dumb. So I screwed it in and I didn't know it did that. And then I'm like, why is the gun like shooting like shit? That is why. So you do not want to do that, honestly. That is not good for the gun at all. So with that said, enough gab about it. I think it's time we do some shooting tests with it. Hey out there. That is a 125 foot distance target. That is 9 inches in diameter. I have the mag with 3.2s by Mad Bull. They're not the greatest BBs, and the hop is a little high. We're gonna just take some shots at it. It's not the most accurate rifle in the world, and again, the BBs are mid, but you'll be able to get an idea of what the groupings are like. So let me zoom out just a tad bit so it's got a little better resolution. There we go. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. There's a little bolt catch malfunction. Actually, that was pretty impressive. I was either just a tad low and I hit the stick that the target was on, or I was actually hitting the target or damn near close to it, so yeah. Alright, so we were at the chrono with the Mgcr 556, and we got some 22 gram BBs in the magazine. I don't know if it's fully loaded or not, because loading this thing all the way up is a pain in the ass. But let's see how many shots we get out of it, and then after that, let's see how many shots we can keep taking with it until the bolt stops locking back. Because one of the strongest points of this gun is its gas efficiency. So here we go. Shots and then lock back. As you'll notice, the problem that this gun has is its shot consistency is like all over the place. Let me tilt that down so you can see the numbers better. So this is with 3.2s, right? So okay, 293, 290, that's fine. 283, okay. Then 272, 278, then back up to 287, 284, 258. Like what the fuck, you know? 282, 268, 276. Like it's all over the place. And so surprisingly, this thing still gets good like accuracy. I filmed the accuracy test earlier, like in the week, so that way I'll put that ahead of it. But like somehow this gun can still manage to pull off good accuracy despite the fact that it is not very consistent. So that is a big concern when using this thing. However, I figured, you know, I'd showcase this. So we're already at the 21 shots. So I figured I'd just keep doing it where I'll shoot and then release the bolt until it stops doing it, okay? So you ready? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's it. That was the last of it. So 68 shots in rapid succession in semi-auto before it quits locking back on the bolt, and it is really cold. That's pretty good. Like that's really good that it gets this much like gas efficiency off of one fill. And to be honest, I wasn't even using like a full can of green gas to fill it. It's like pretty like empty. So if I had like a full can of green gas and I really filled this thing all the way up, I bet you could easily see, I don't know, I would probably guess like 70 to 80 shots. And if it was a little warmer too, that would be pretty great. So gas efficiency, good. I don't like how proprietary this thing is. And then lastly, I guess I just don't really care for the fact that like it has this weird like gas block gas tube thing going here. Not really a big fan of that, and the way the hop up adjusts. But outside of that, so far, I mean, it's looking really good. So let's go do the accuracy test, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, so before we completely wrap this thing up, I thought one thing that would be really fun to do is just to put it into full auto and just kind of let it sing a little bit. I'll hold down, let's see if I can do that right. Yeah, I'll hold this down and then just let you guys get some good views of it just dry firing in full auto. I mean, it is really satisfying to shoot. Like, genuinely, man, it's got a good sound to it. It's really smooth. I mean, that is one thing I really love about it, is like, it's so buttery. Like, even with the hammer dropped, it's butter, and it feels really, really good. So what are my overall thoughts on this gun? Well, accuracy wise, not bad. It hops 3.2s right out of the box. Could probably maybe even go heavier, maybe 3.6s, kind of pushing it. But otherwise, 3.2s is no problem. Anything lighter, and it'll obviously hop it, but it just won't be that accurate. The FPS is all over the place with the 3.2s, but in terms of the joule output there, you were seeing kind of anywhere from, what was that, maybe like 1 joule to upwards of like 1.3. So it's like all over the place. But if it was made to be more consistent, I would say this is actually a really good gas blowback, rifle for skirmishing. I think that the gas efficiency is outstanding. I don't know how this would fare in really cold weather. I mean, the magazine is really cold, but I also just shot it like 100 times in a row. And then I just don't like how proprietary the thing is. But outside of that, I mean, it seems like it is really, really good. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I can recommend it, just because it is a little bit proprietary. Something breaks, you're kind of screwed, and you'll have to get it like sourced, from like G&G themselves, or maybe some kind of representative dealer or something like that can like get that for you. Because I've heard of the nozzle breaking on these, and that's not very good. The mags are proprietary, so you'll have to get these mags. I don't know if those G&G combat machine ones will work. You may need to get these specific Mgcr mags for it. And then lastly, I guess I just don't like the fact that it's just another M4, like the gas blowback M4 is so overdone. I mean, when you think about it, it's like we have the Western Arms, and we have the G&P Walk, and then we have King Arms, and then we have KJW, Tokyo Marui, GHK, VFC. G&G had their own gas blowback M4 before this, and then JG made Golden Eagle, excuse me, same thing, made a clone, I think, of Western Arms, and then Cyma made a clone of the MWS system. So we're at that's 10 manufacturers that make these things. And then there's WeTech, and then maybe there's 1 or 2 more that I'm not. The KWA, that's another one. So it's like 12, you know what I mean? And now G&G, and it's like, okay, it's kind of overdone, it's redundant, we get it. The gas blowback M4 market, it's saturated, but is this a welcome addition? I think it could be. You fix that FPS problem, make it a little bit more compatible with other aftermarket parts, and you might have a winner. But as is, it's good. It's just that it could be better. That FPS thing is the only problem. As you saw, there was a few shots where it kind of drooped, and I think that if it was to fix that FPS output issue, you would have a really good gas blowback rifle on your hands, and then just give it more part support, and it would actually be something I could totally recommend, because it's $450, and for $450, I mean, with full steel internals, nice recoil, buttery smooth action, excellent gas efficiency, that's really good. But I just can't completely be like, oh, it's amazing because of that FPS issue, and I think this is something that is common throughout these models. So if they fix that, then we could have a winner, and it could be worth it. But for now, kind of get it at your own risk. But at the end of the day, it's still a pretty nice gun, and it is definitely better than, like, for example, the Golden Eagle copy of the Western Arms design. I would say it probably would be on par with like the Cyma clone of the MWS, but I would say if you want the best gas blowback M4 on the market in terms of skirmishability and practicality and performance, MWS is king. This is going to be second fiddle, but this is in its own way nicer in some ways than an MWS. I think it sounds better, I think it has more kick, and I think it's just as gas efficient, so there you go. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and let me know what, if you like this gun, or if you have one, and if you have any issues with it, and if yours is also inconsistent as well. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, then check out my other content on the channel. But for now, stay tuned for more eventually. And as always, happy airsofting.